Lance Serline, who's already said he's not going to come on the show. We reached out to him.
Yeah, thanks, Lance.
And his rebuttal was, I'm not trying to put Jake on blast here. His rebuttal was something like, I don't want to kick the hornet's nest with Shedeur Sanders.
No, I used that phrase for him.
Okay.
He did not say that. I once he responded and said he wasn't interested because he didn't want to, I think he said stoke the flame.
Yeah.
And I was like, okay, so he doesn't want to kick the hornet's nest is what he doesn't want to do, which is wild because once you already do that, you've already done it.
Yeah. You should just take your 15 minutes of fame and just enjoy it. Or he's already afraid of the Shahive, as they're known. He went on Maggie and Perloff on the Infinity Sports Network, of course, our sister station, and took a pretty big swing at media members with their coverage of Shedeur Sanders.
I had people from the media reach out either through text message or direct message saying, man, I can't believe you said that because this is the same way I feel. But everyone was afraid of taking the heat. I mean, to be honest with you, the media is afraid of Deion, at least the national media who deals in television. They're afraid of dealing with the Deion. They're afraid of the pushback and the blowback from people on Twitter. I don't care. Like, the truth is the truth, so it doesn't matter to me.
Sounds like he cares.
Also,
sounds like he cares a lot. If he doesn't want to come on this station and defend it, it sounds like he cares a lot.
This also sounds like, you know what? No one's going to say it, but I'm going to say it. Sounds a little bit of self-propelling there.
Well, then not going on the radio here in Cleveland where Shedeur plays to then say it.
Are we too soft on Shedeur is I think where this takes us.
This was one of the more mind-blowing things I've ever heard. Last week, Ross Tucker came on this station because Ross will at least defend his own takes, but between Colin Cowherd, they acted like somebody with speeding tickets had all of a sudden committed real crimes against humanity here. And I don't know how we got to this spot where Shedeur is being treated too soft. Are you kidding me? People undressed Shedeur Sanders last week as if he had committed real, actual felonies instead of driving a little too fast on the highway. The nitpicking attached to Shedeur last week and the people leaving Shedeur's side based off of traffic and speeding tickets tells me there's no way that he's ever been considered too soft or treated too soft. Like, the people went after Shedeur last week for things that we don't go after other people for. Lamar Jackson went 105. Nobody even blinked an eye about it and was like, okay. He was like, okay, fine. He just posted on his social media accounts and everything was okay.
Zach Edey literally went 101 miles an hour
the same day. And nobody cared because you shouldn't care if a guy goes 101. You shouldn't care about speeding tickets for players. And people acted like Shedeur Sanders had legitimately done something massively wrong.
So I do think we're too soft on Shedeur. I think we're too hard on Shedeur because I think there are two camps in the media right now. And same thing with fans. I think there are people who think this guy is the most underrated thing and he got jobbed and there's collusion and all the different words. And then I think there are people who think that's asinine and it was just about the pre-draft process, nothing to do with Deion, nothing to do with the big brand stuff, which the NFL has shown time and time again that they're very uncomfortable with, players having significant brands of their own. And all the while, I feel like I'm in the middle looking at both sides being like, you could press Shedeur more and you could maybe give the kid a benefit of the doubt.
I mean, I just see it. So I see it more one-sided because I look at a kid that fell to the 5th round, which if you want to talk about punishment, that's $40 million that he lost out on. But he went to the 5th round based off of all these other things. Apparently we were too soft, but it all of a sudden had his draft stock plummet 5 rounds. That sounds like somebody that not only had the right amount of media criticism, but obviously then had the ripple effects attached to it through NFL circles to have him fall that far.
Here's the thing. I don't believe anyone in the NFL is afraid of Deion Sanders. That's, to me, where Lance is the most out of pocket in all this. Oh, I've had people okay.
Right. Why would they be scared of Deion?
Well, it's the NFL. Does anybody in the NFL look like they're afraid of anything other than like giving players fully guaranteed contracts? Other than that, is there anything that really scares the NFL? Concussion lawsuits. Other than that, is there anything putting end racism in the back of the? No, the point is, no one thinks about Deion Sanders. Like, this is where, okay, Deion should not have been his son's agent. Proven true. That's just Shiloh probably would have been drafted.
Right.
Shedeur probably would have been a top 3-round pick if Shedeur had been given the kind of advice he needed. But we're turning this guy into, like, guys, he doesn't have that kind of power. It's the same reason why, like, when people were like, hey, is Deion trying to steer his kids some way? The NFL spoke. You don't have that power.
Wait.
We'd rather just not deal with you. We're not afraid of you. We're just going to ignore you.
Tell me the break that Shedeur Sanders has actually gotten. Like in the NFL,
Other
and
than
since,
the ones given to us
drafted
by his father?
No, again, that's Colorado, that's everything. We're talking about what Lance Zierlein is discussing, with the media being too soft in the NFL draft process and then being taken in the NFL. Tell me the break that Shedeur Sanders has gotten, because the timeline shows that he fell all the way to the 5th round based off of the media criticism and everything associated with his dad and everything that accompanies that. And then since being here, he has not taken a single rep with the number ones, which is not something that I feel like is being given any sort of credence or anything like that. And then he's been lambasted for speeding tickets as if he all of a sudden murdered a guy. Like, I mean, it's wild to me that anyone thinks that he's gotten some sort of pass, or anyone's been soft on him, or anything of that ilk. It just, where's the proof in that?
I would say any of the Shedeur apologists and their rebuttals of him, and their heavy-handed rebuttal, like thinking specifically of like Mel Kyper and Louis Riddick on the dais of spending the next 3 days of the draft talking more about Shedeur and how wronged he's been.
Where's the actual results of the idea that they were okay? Fine, Mel Kyper goes to bat for him hard in the paint. Good for Mel. It is what it is. Where's the results because of Mel doing that has benefited Shedeur Sanders?
I don't think they. By the way,
they don't exist.
But I don't think the media hammering him is why he went to the 5th round. I think Shedeur went in the 5th round because of his actions in the pre-draft process. And the fact that if he was a first-round talent, I don't think he would have suffered from them the way he did, being a 2nd or 3rd round talent, which is what I think the NFL collectively thought he was before the shenanigans.
So do we feel like if the media is too soft or the media is too hard in the case of Shedeur Sanders, it doesn't matter in general anyway?
No, I mean, I think it probably matters to be that kid. And I think it matters in terms of how we treat kind of lightning rod type. And he's not a lightning rod he's a lightning rod because he has got a social media following and because of the family name. But no, do I think inevitably it's harmed his career? No, I don't. Listen, I think if the media does not influence the Browns, if the Browns are punishing him for speeding tickets or the pre-draft process. The Browns are doing that because they want to make some statement, because they've bought into not just their own ideology on how Shedeur handled the pre-draft process, but how other teams bought into it.
I guess the main point is that if anyone is being soft when it comes to Shedeur, it hasn't benefited him in the slightest bit, because he has not gotten, since he's been drafted in the NFL, by the way, the 5th round, no part of this has been a cakewalk for him. Like, it's all been hard. None of this has been easy. And some of this has been him making it harder on himself. There's an acknowledgement there, but like no part of him is benefited by even being the last name Sanders since being taken in the NFL.